Escape from Tarkov's 12.12 patch feels like it's just around the corner, and there's plenty of things to get excited for. There's tons of new things coming, and tons of things that should be fixed because of Unity 2019 now being in the game, which is why I feel this patch is going to be one of the biggest, and not only that, it's also going to feature a ton of things that can get players back into the game that haven't played for a while, and tons of new players coming in, and that's something we haven't seen since 0.12 and the reserve patch that happened over 2 years ago. The main reason you can say that this is going to be a massive patch is because it's got a map in it, a brand new map that no one's played before, which means tons of new gameplay styles, tons of new environments to explore, and tons of new features which I'll also cover in this video. So Lighthouse is coming and definite with 12.12, and that's a big deal. The last time we had a map was reserve, and that was 0.12, and look how big that patch was. We've already seen quite a few screenshots and heard quite a bit of information from Nikita on Lighthouse itself. You can see that there is a ton of balance between indoor and outdoor areas, which is great for people with different playstyles. If you want to be a sniper, there's options on this map for you to be a sniper. If you want to be close range, there's options for that too. And that is great in terms of level design, and it looks so detailed as well, which is something that BSGs just seem to be getting better and better at, which is great. We've also got more dynamic extractions coming in this map. Nikita said about another armored train extract, which is similar to the one in reserve, but you have to protect it while it extracts you. You can't just sit in it until the countdown happens. That is a really nice feature. I can imagine that it's going to be a pretty chaotic experience for everyone, and of course they like to experiment with other extraction types as well, so we could be seeing something that we've never seen before. Now all of that sounds promising, but my favourite thing that we know about this map so far is the actual in-raid trader that we're going to be getting with Lighthouse. Now it's not going to be as easy as just going up to him and getting all of his wares. He's going to be protected, and you're going to need to find how to get him, either through key cards or through solving a puzzle or something like that. That's going to be really exciting. Sounds really fresh. We don't actually know what he sells yet. He could just give you an Alionka and tell you to be on your way. He could be just sitting in a white van somewhere, but we don't know, and that's the exciting bit. Now speaking of his protection's in the form of a Scav boss, and there's going to be quite a few of them on this map. 4 of them is what we've been told so far, one of them being a sniper, and the rest of them we're unsure about. Now, it doesn't mean that all 4 of these are going to be on the maps all the time. It doesn't mean all 4 of these are going to be coming in 12.12, but we know that Lighthouse is going to be equipped with 4 Scav bosses eventually. We're not used to having many Scav bosses on a map, but they have done events like this in the past, so I can imagine that's why they did the events, to test how possible it would be. Now, like I said, we're not going to get 4 Scav bosses at once. Things might come in later sub patches, and that's the same for the map in general. It's going to be separated into different sections. For example, the actual Lighthouse itself on the Lighthouse map is not going to be in 12.12. It's going to be in one of the later sub patches a little later down the line, but you can actually walk up to it, you just can't go in it or go past it. So it's going to be sort of like Shoreline. Back in the real early days of Tarkov, it just got cut off at the very left-hand side wall of the resort. You never used to have a resort. It was just a big open field pretty much with a beach at the front of it, and that was it. And then they added the resort on a whole nother side of the map. So that's similar to what they're going to be doing with Lighthouse, which I think's good because it gives people something to look forward to as well and stops the map drying out so quickly. Another major thing coming in 12.12 is the new mechanics. We've got inertia that's coming. That's really good. It means that people that are bunny hopping around and shift W in everywhere are going to have a bit of a hit, and that's really fun because that's not how the game's meant to be played. It's meant to play it a bit more slow, a bit more tactical. Nikita and BSG have said that countless times in the past. They don't like the whole shift W meta at the moment. So I feel the first stages of inertia is really going to bring BSG's vision of slow-paced gameplay to life. That's going to be how you succeed, taking it slow, communicating if you have a team, and just checking your corners, making it so it's a little bit more tactical and not so much run and gun like it currently is. On top of inertia, we have VoIP coming in 12.12. Finally, you don't have any idea how long I have waited for VoIP to be able to be added to this game. I want to be able to talk to boys, I want to go and make friends, I don't want to just kill on sight everyone I see. Sure, you have the wiggle at the moment, but once you've wiggled at each other, you just go on your separate ways. There's no way to really say, oh, there's a random person over there, I'm gonna go make friends and then run through the map together. And I think that's gonna bring a whole new gameplay aspect to this game, and I think that's what the game really needs. At the moment, you just kill on sight, and kill on sight's all you do. Now, I know VoIP is a little bit controversial in terms of what happens if people are just gonna hot mic and shout at me and all this sort of stuff. Then you can just turn it off. There is going to be an option for that, so don't worry, you can turn it off and then you'll be unchanged. But for those like me who like to make content and silly things, it's going to be hella fun. And I can imagine most of the Tarkov community, based on the way it is going to respect how VoIP is meant to be used, and I don't imagine there's going to be much issues, but we'll find out, I suppose. And of course, we've already had the addition of Unity 2019. If you want to know how that's been implemented and what that whole downtime thing the other day was, there's a link in the description and a card annotation on screen. It'll allow you to check that video out. Nice and brief, explaining what Unity 2019 gives the devs, basically. And over time, that's going to give us more features, more optimization, more NVIDIA DLSS features, and all that sort of stuff will be added to the game. So the game is actually going to be running a lot more smooth, hopefully, in these later patches, including 12.12. And it moves past just having access to more FPS and smoother gameplay, because it also paves the way for future development. For example, Lighthouse, like I mentioned, is going to be split into multiple parts. And development of a game's map takes a long time, as we've previously mentioned. Like Reserve to Lighthouse has been over 2 years, for example. But having access to tools like terrain tools and everything that Unity 2019 gives us will allow BSG to push out map updates, expansions, and new maps in general really quite quickly, and that will be a great thing. I feel like there's going to be far more content patches in the future now, which is something that people have been asking for quite a long time. On top of that, we have, of course, new weapons and new modifications. We've got the Scars finally coming in 12.12. We got a UMP suppressor, which is something that I've been craving since the UMP was added. The UMP is a really good 45 caliber weapon, but it doesn't have many options for modifications, and that's the problem, especially if you want to be quiet and sneak around. So adding that suppressor, yes, thank you BSG. And of course the Scars, boys, you're going to see me run the Scar a hell of a lot, and that's because, well, it's a really good weapon, not just in games but in real life too. And that is something that I can't wait to see. It's iconic in the gaming industry, and I can't wait to see how Tarkov deal with it, considering how deep they usually go in terms of weapon modifications and how a weapon acts compared to how it performs in the real world as well. And actually, the last thing that I'll mention in today's video before I turn it into a little bit of a discussion for you guys down below in the comments is a wipe. I'm basically 99% sure there's going to be a wipe with 12.12, not only just because of how much there is going to be added to this game, but also Nikita pretty much leaked it in a previous podcast. I don't know whether it was like with a language barrier thing, but he basically said that there's going to be a wipe with 12.12, and it's kind of understandable really. It's kind, you could have guessed that. There's not been a wipe for a while, and to be fair, the game usually wipes every 6 months anyway, and last year they did a wipe right before Christmas. I can imagine they're going to do another one right before Christmas this year again. So my prediction is we're going to get 12.12 quite soon, and I can imagine that will be a wipe with all of these new features, and it'll make the game really exciting again, bring tons of people back and tons of new people in. And that's only good news for people that like the game like myself. But let me know what you think down below in the comments. What's your favorite thing that they're going to be adding in 12.12? If I've not mentioned something because of the little things that they may have mentioned in a podcast or something on their socials, let me know down below in the comments as well. We could discuss it there. Of course, I've not mentioned every single thing coming in 12.12 because we just don't know. I'll be doing a patch notes breakdown when that does come to us. But other than that, yeah, let's just have a little conversation down below in the comments, I suppose. But thank you so much for staying to the end of this video, really do appreciate it. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with Escape from Tarkov content, and of course other games that I put out on this channel. And also like and comment for the YouTube algorithm, and share this with your friends if you haven't already, because it's nice to get new people onto this channel as well. Thanks so much guys, I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.